So you hear it all the time, right? AI is a complete game changer for national security. But behind all that hype, there's a much, much harder question. How do you take a brilliant algorithm and actually make it work reliably when lives are on the line? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the unsung hero of defense AI, this critical discipline that makes it all possible. It's called MLOps. So how do we solve this incredibly high-stakes puzzle? Let's dive in.
And this, right here, is the fundamental question. I mean, it's one thing to build an AI that can win a chess match in a quiet, air-conditioned lab. It's a whole other universe to deploy it on, say, a windswept desert battlefield, where dust, heat, and enemy jamming are just part of a normal Tuesday. The stakes couldn't be higher.
So before we get into the nuts and bolts, what's all the excitement about anyway? Why is everyone talking about AI as this totally revolutionary force for defense and security?
Well, it's really all about creating a decisive advantage. We're talking about AI that can sift through literal mountains of satellite photos and enemy chatter in minutes, not months. It can manage the mind-bogglingly complex dance of global supply chains faster than any human team ever could. And it can power these sophisticated cyber defenses that stop an attack before a person even knows it's happening. Okay, but here's the reality check. That journey from the brilliant idea to a trusted tool in a soldier's hands, well, it is an absolute minefield of challenges. This is what people on the inside call the hidden deployment crisis.
So let's really dig into the unique challenges that make putting AI to work in the defense world such a high-wire act.
First off, the data. It's basically a fortress. You're dealing with multiple levels of classification, from secret to top secret, each with its own rigid set of rules. And you have to constantly defend against adversaries trying something called data poisoning, where they secretly feed your AI bad information to teach it to make catastrophic mistakes, like, say, misidentifying a school bus as a tank.
Next, you've got the environment itself, which is actively trying to break your system. Just imagine an AI-powered drone flying deep in enemy territory, completely cut off from its handlers. It has to make life-or-death calls all by itself, unlimited battery power, while being shot at. It just cannot fail. There's no room for error.
And finally, accountability has to be absolute. Every single decision the AI makes needs to be traceable. You have to be able to reproduce its results 100% of the time. But maybe the biggest hurdle of all is you have to build a system that a soldier, under unbelievable stress, can actually trust with their life. Because without that trust, the fanciest AI in the world is totally useless.
So how in the world do you navigate this minefield? How do you build that kind of ironclad trust? Well, the answer lies in a really powerful, structured discipline called MLOps.
MLOps. It stands for Machine Learning Operations, and you can think of it as the engineering playbook for taking AI out of the research lab and making it truly operational. It's a whole set of practices that automate and standardize the entire life of an AI model, from the very first line of code all the way to its retirement, making sure it works reliably and predictably out in the wild.
Now, this is a fantastic way to think about it. If an AI model is like an elite special forces operator, highly trained for one specific mission, then MLOps is the entire support system that actually makes them effective. It's the logistics, the intel, the comms, the chain of command. It's the whole shebang, all working together perfectly.
In this life cycle, it's not a straight line. It's a continuous loop that's always improving. It all starts with locking down the data. Then you move into a super secure development process. From there, automated systems. You'll hear them called CI/CD pipelines for continuous integration and deployment. They safely test and push the AI out into the field. And here's the magic part. It's constantly being monitored with a feedback loop that lets it get retrained and redeployed as the battlefield changes.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does MLOps actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Let's get into some real-world examples.
So let's take ISR, Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance. We're talking about AI models that have to drink from a fire hose of data from satellites and drones, all in real time, looking for that one needle in a continent-sized haystack.
But here's the thing. Your enemy is smart. They're always adapting. Without MLOps, your incredibly expensive AI model becomes a digital fossil overnight because it can't recognize new enemy tactics. With MLOps, you have a living, breathing system that evolves right alongside the threat, automatically updating itself so you always stay one step ahead.
Or think about this, an autonomous logistics convoy. A whole fleet of self-driving trucks whose job is to get critical supplies through a dangerous war zone where every single mile is filled with risk.
Now this is where it gets absolutely incredible. If just one truck in that convoy spots a new obstacle, like a bridge that's been destroyed, that information doesn't just stay with that one truck. The MLOps pipeline instantly uses that new data to retrain the central AI model, and then seamlessly and securely pushes the smarter, updated version to the entire fleet. Every truck learns from the experience of one. The whole system gets smarter all at once.
So, as we start to wrap this up, what's the one big idea you should take away from all of this? What is the crucial point?
It's this. MLOps is the bridge. It's what takes artificial intelligence from being a promising but kind of fragile lab experiment and transforms it into a tough, reliable, and trustworthy tool that you can bet your life on.
And that means this is so much bigger than just being a technical best practice. In an age where being the best with technology is everything, the ability to rapidly and securely deploy AI isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a matter of national security, period.
Which leaves us with one last, really crucial question to think about. As these incredibly powerful AI systems get woven deeper and deeper into the fabric of our security, is the true strategic advantage not just about creating the smartest AI, but about mastering the discipline to deploy, manage, and most importantly, control it. Maybe the ultimate power doesn't lie in the machine itself, but in our ability to wield it wisely.